Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my Dark Knights, and everyone out there in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. I am the Bat Brand. I've done 2 deck profiles before. Here is my third. I promised I was going to do sharks for you guys. So this is my shark deck profile. I think it needs one more card to really make it really, really good. I just need Draco, Utopic Draco Future. But adding that in here, that's all I really need, and then this deck is finished. But we're going to go into a deck profile with this. If you guys are excited for this, please let me know down in the comments down below. I am looking to do more in the future, but we are going to just jump right into this deck profile. I'm going to show you guys this deck because this deck actually just topped the locals. It's been topping lately, and in this meta, surprisingly shocking, it's actually pretty good because you can play Toad and play it the right way. I'll say that. And you don't have to use the sprite stuff. And with Rodent Toaded banned, this is another way to get totally awesome out on top of having Utopic Draco Future. So those are going to be in here. And then, of course, this deck surprisingly brings out level 4s pretty well. And the Kraken Lock is unbelievable, which we'll get into that. And that's what this deck is centered around. And let's just jump into the deck profile. Alright, so this deck profile is about 41 card deck. I was thinking of just running 40 cards. I think this is just 40 or 41. I have decided to drop a card recently. I was thinking of running Cosmic Cyclones in the main, but right now they're in the side. I just recently took out a card in here for a card you guys will see, which is very interesting. It'll be needed for the deck. But first card we're running is Abyss Shark. 3 copies of Abyss Shark. It is essential for this deck. Basically what it does is, if it's used during an XZ summon, it can be used as 3 or 4. And if all monsters you control on the field are water, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, add one level 3, 4, or 5 fish monster from your deck to your hand, except Abyss Shark. And you just can't special summon monsters other than water monsters. So that's fine. And it also gets another added a little effect with number monsters if you use it for that. So it actually does pretty good with that. It does do the inflict battle damage, first battle damage with the number. So that is a starter. And then the other starter we have in this deck as well is triple copies of Buzzsaw Shark as well. Buzzsaw lets you grab from the deck. Now, what you do have to worry about getting ashed in this deck, I know when I play with it, it is a problem if your Buzzsaw gets ashed, but it just stops your extender plays, really, because you're playing a lot of cards that special summon themselves. It's okay, but it could be a problem if you are don't have a lot of... See, that's the bad part about this deck. If you don't have a hand that has an extender like Silent Angler or a Silent Sea Nettle or some other cards, it does get a little risky. But that is fine. Buzzsaw Shark is pretty good. Then I played 2 copies of Lantern Shark. I was thinking about putting it back up to 3 that I had it at. And then I thought 2 from hand. I mean, it does come up, but I have one that is really substituted for it. That gives me an extra normal summon, which is the same thing. So what Lantern Shark will do, but except for with the special summon. So Lantern Shark, I decided to drop it down to 2. And if you use it first and they stop you from, you have to waste it on a normal summon, but you can special summon Buzzsaw from hand, and then Buzzsaw still gets the effect, will let you go grab from deck and grab another one. Now, I will tell you, I'm not playing Beautiful in this deck because as looking at deck lists, as playing the deck, I realized Beautiful actually isn't that great in this deck build because if it gets ashed, Yeah, you waste your normal summon on a 0/0 attacker. And if they ash it, you can't you banish it, yeah, but you don't get the add effect. So then you're sitting there with no cards. So it is a difficult. Then I'm playing one copy of Lifeless Leaf Fish. The only reason why this is in here, it's an extra level 4, and on top of that as well, it also gets the effect it can dump a fish to grave. And doing that, I can dump right hand, I can dump left hand shark, I can dump Silent Sea Nettle, and really those cards, if they get dumped, like once I get other cards, like say, like if I had like I was running a build that had white stingray, white aura whale, white aura dolphin, and I could white mirror the white stingray, and white stingray would become a tuner, and I could have white aura whale out with the other. Once I added the white aura stingray, and it lets me special summon the stingray if I have just water monsters on the field. So that is a pretty good tech play if I use that with White Mirror. Then I'm playing one copy of Ice Knight. This is the card that is basically replaced one of my copies of Lantern Shark, because Ice Knight lets you basically get an extra normal summon, which is great, and it gets boosted attack for every Aqua monster. So that really doesn't come up that much, but it does let you get an extra normal summon, which is pretty good. And if you don't want to waste your specials, like if you don't want to, if you want to waste your normal summon on them, that's fine. That's actually a good card to waste the normal summon on. Then I'm playing 3 copies of Silent Angler. Silent Angler is just an extender in this deck. Silent Angler is a card that, of course, lets you special summon. This and Silent Sea Nettle is essential for the deck. Then I'm thinking of playing 2 copies of this, but right now it's only at 1. Barrier Statue of the Torrent. Barrier Statue of a Torrent basically locks you out. If I have this goes in match and Stealth Kraken, you lose. So, like, that is just a card to grab. Really, what I'm hoping for is if I had a second one, I could White Mirror the one and grab the other one. I'm almost pretty sure White Mirror lets me special summon a water monster. And then I'm running not 1, but 2 copies of Tenyi Spirit Shidana. This is just a starter. It's a level 4. And if I don't have anything, and I have this in my opening hand, I don't have to waste my normal summon on Shidana. I can just special summon him for free. And he's a level 4. Then next, I'm playing 2 copies of Silent Sea Nettle. Silent Sea Nettle, the other reason why I am playing Lifeless Leaf Fish in this deck, for one reason, is because it has an effect. If there's 3 or more fish monsters, I can target them, shuffle them back into the deck, and then draw a card, which that comes up sometimes, but Silent Sea Nettle is water, and basically it targets 3 of your water monsters and sends them back into the deck, but you don't get the draw off of it. So that's why I'm thinking of just going down to 1, but the special effect to let me special summon, a lot better. Then we're playing 1 copy of Crystal Shark. Crystal Shark doesn't really come up too much, but if it's in my hand or graveyard, I can target a water monster on the field, special summon it, and just half the monster's attack that I'm targeting. But that's just, again, it's another free extra summon, and I can use it for a 3 or 4 as well on top of a 5. So basically, I can cheat out a rank 4. Then I'm playing 1 copy of Left Hand, 1 copy of Right Hand. Left Hand may go for another Lifeless Leaf Fish, to be completely honest with you, because Left Hand has the effect that he can become level 4 when he special summons from the grave. That doesn't really come up a lot, and he's a level 3, which sucks. But he basically, if you summon this, I can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard if you control Right Hand Shark. And if you do, he becomes level 4, and then you get the added effect if you use him for Z summoning, which it doesn't let him destroyed by card effect, and also doesn't let him be destroyed by battle as well. So those are cards I could use, but right now in my builds, I'm liking left hand, right hand shark more than typically. I am pitching it like it most likely. Let me know if you guys think I should just go with the 2 lifeless leaf fish. Right now it's right hand and left hand, but I'm strongly thinking the left hand may go out because it's more difficult to make it to a level 4. So yeah, unfortunately I may just side it, and if I'm like out, I'm up game 1. I'm up game 1, I'll say. I can go into the left-hand shark just to attempt to do some shenanigans with left hand. But Lifeless's effect is just a little better. Then we have 1 nib. I am looking to up the scenarios for nib, but right now I only have the 1. The other one's in the side. But I'm not running a lot of hand traps in this deck. There's really no need in this deck. Then I'm playing 1 Gamma Seal. These are basically my 2 kaijus, quote unquote, that I'm going to use to clear my opponent's board. But that's all for the monsters. Then next, we are playing 2 copies of Fury of the Kairyu-Shin. I love this combo. This little, not only does it give a protection for my for my monsters for card effect, but all my water monsters, it also lets me add Torrential Tribute. So that is really good in this deck. Then here's the card I decided to throw in here recently. Because Mystic Mine not being banned, it requires me to play this card. And right now, if it's in my opening hand, I play it. Right now, I'm swapping between this or Feather Duster. It is Lightning Storm. Lightning Storm in my opening hand is fantastic. If they have Mystic Mine, I can basically clear my opponent's board. I am also thinking of throwing in a Harpy's Feather Duster to just out everything on the board. Again, if you guys think I should do something different, let me know. But right now, I think Lightning Storm's the best card because it also gives me options to clear my opponent's back row. Or not just back row, but it also clears my opponent's monsters as well. And it's a board wipe. Then I'm playing triple copies of White Mirror. What White Mirror does is White Mirror lets me target a level focus camera. There we go. To target a level 4 lower fish in my grave, special summon it, and I get to add the other one from deck to hand if I have other copies. So that doesn't come up too much, but it is a pretty decent card to have with the, like, this card is amazing for the deck because it's a reborn. So just for the fish. So a lot of these cards in here are fish, so I'm okay with this card. I love this card, and the only bad part is if you're only playing your copies of one, you can't bring out the other one, so that's why, like, more or less, like, if I play the double lifeless leaf fish, I can grab my one and then go grab the other, so that is an interesting play that I could do, but the only bad part is left-hand shark. Speaking of left-hand shark, it isn't as great because, one, like I said, it's a level 3, but on top of that, also, it has that effect where, like, right-hand shark gets the effect if you have no cards in the field, you can basically bring it out for free. Left hand doesn't get that, so that's the sad part. Then the one us playing one Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is, I mean, it should have been banned, but considering it's not, playing it. And as long as it's legal, I'm playing it. That's also technically another hand trap. Then one Instant Fusion, which you guys will see here shortly with my Instant Fusion target. I was going to play Ready Fusion, but Ready Fusion's better in the Goaty archetype because you can get out a level 6 normal fusion monsters, like, say, a Roaring Ocean Snake, so it's not as great. Then I'm looking to grab more copies of this. Forbidden Chalice is in the main. Chalice right now is really, really good. I'm looking to grab another one, but right now I am playing Whitefish Salvage, which, again, it's a target a fish in your graveyard, add it to hand. So, if you have one engraved, you have the left hand, you engrave, you can add it to hand, and then do some shenanigans with that. Also, the right hand as well. Also, just if you need it, it's just an extra card, but it will go out once I get the other chalices. Monster Reborn as well. Thinking of taking out Monster Reborn since I have the Whitefish Salvage, but say I use up my Toad and they stop me from, they negate it in the graveyard, I can use Monster Reborn, bring Toad back out, or I can just bring out any of my other monsters, or from my opponent's graveyard and stuff like that. It may go to the side so I can throw in more chalices, and honestly, that might be what I do. But for right now, it's good enough. Then next, I'm playing 2 copies of Dark Ruler No More. These are essential right now for every deck in the meta. Everyone is playing Dark Ruler No More. Basically, it's almost your starter every turn. Every time you're going second, this needs to be your starter. Because your opponent is going to put up a big board if you're playing against tiers, sprites, anything else that has interruptions against you on your turn. You Dark Ruler No More them. They have, like, the only thing they can do if they Baron A it, like, oh no, neither player can activate a monster's effect in response to it. So, they can't even Baron it. They can't do anything to it. So, good luck with that. So, Dark Ruler No More, great card in this deck. And then, of course, we're playing Rage. We have to play 2 copies of Torrential as well. Pretty obvious why we play 2 copies of Torrential. Then, the last and final traps in the deck. Triple Gozen Match. I don't really need to say too much about this, except for Gozen Match is it's the winning card. If we have Gozen Match, we're able to get out Stealth Kraken, and just for the little bit of extra stuff on the top, we have Barrier Statue. It's GG. It's just done. They can't do anything with that at that point. Yeah, all in all, that is the main. We're going to move over to the extra. Starting off with like I said, the instant fusion target. It is Rare Fish. Really not much needs to be said about that. Totally Awesome. I only play one Totally Awesome and could get a second right now. But right now, the one is perfect in this deck. I do have, since we have the Toad, we need the Bahamut. And I'm playing 2. Just in case my opponent decides to get rid of one of them, I have the other one that I can go to. And if I have 2 out, I can not only bring Toad out with the one, but then I can use the other one and the other Bahamut to go into Draco or F-Zero Utopic Future, and then go into F-Zero Draco Future. Then next we have Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller is so good against the meta, because basically your opponent, you're playing tiers, they can't use effects in the graveyard with tiers for that turn with Abyss Dweller. So they can try all they want. They're not going to be able to do anything against Abyss Dweller. And it gets that little effect. It lets you boost as well. Then we have number 101, Silent Honor Arc. Again, that's a card that you can basically detach to material, target a special summon monster, attach it to it. And you're not destroying it, you're attaching it to him. So, unless they have a thing that you can't target it, it's a pretty good card. Then we get into the Nash Knight and the CXZ's Nash Knight. CXZ's basically lets you bring out a number and attach to him, so you get the Silent Honor Arc for free, with like 4 stuff equipped to him. It's pretty good. Nash Knight, again, Nash Knight gets, like, if you attach it with a number, like if you attach it with C101, or not C101, just 101 or any of those numbers, it gets added effect where you can attach a number monster from your extra deck to this card that has a number between 101 and 107. That really doesn't come up that much, but basically you get to attach one other face-up monster on the field to this card as material. So if you do that, you get to attach another card on the field. So you got to take an opponent's monster, attach it to the card, and it doesn't say target. No, you can just attach. So that is a pretty good card. And Nash Knight is just protection as well. Then we get into the big star of the show here. 2 Stealth Kraken Spawn and 2 number 4 Stealth Kraken. Let's talk about Stealth Kraken first. Stealth Kraken is what makes this deck go. Stealth Kraken, you put in that Kraken lock, they can't do anything to stop you at that point because you have Kraken, you have Goes and Match, and say you have Barrier Statue out, have fun. You can do a loop. I like 2. There were some deck lists they played 3. There's some that only played 1. I like 2 because if they get rid of the 1, you can get out another one, and then you can loop them with these little babies. Now, they don't get the added effect where they get the quick effect that they can pop a water monster and kill, but this is really good against tier limits because a lot of the tier limits that they bring out are water. So, you get that quick effect that Spawn can pop a water monster on either turn, and if you have both out, you get to do it twice. So, that does come up, and then if they die, you bring out another Stealth Kraken. So, then last but not least, we have our last Valiant Shark Lancer. He most likely, he's just here's added stuff here. Right now, I really don't like him in here. I may take him out once we get Utopic Draco Future. I really don't want to because Shark Lancer's pretty decent because he gets a quick effect when I have another water monster, and he's protection for my water Xyz monsters, but at the end of the day, like, he may be going out here soon. Utopic Draco Future will be in this deck very soon, so just basically say Utopic Draco Future's in here. We'll probably replace, if you're making this deck, I'd probably replace one of probably the Valiant Shark Lancer, and even put it in the side if you have room, or just take out a Bahamut Shark and throw the second Bahamut Shark in the extra as well. And then Drill Driver Vespinato, it is just a rank up target. And if it gets piercing, which doesn't come up a lot. And then the last card in here we're going to talk about is Divine Arsenal AA Zeus. Basically, my goal is, what I can do is I can go Nash Knight, Siggy's Nash Knight, then go into a 101 Silent Honor Arc, detach 2, attach another, and then go into attack, and then go into Sky Thunder, which will have, I believe, 4 or 5 material, if I'm not mistaken, if everything works out the right way that I want. No, he'll have multiple material. Yeah, he'll have way more. Yeah, he should have 4 or 5 material. So, all in all, this card, along with Toad, along with Utopic Draco Future, amazing extra deck. And yeah, that was it, ladies and gentlemen. That was the deck profile. That was the Sharks. Again, if you guys want to see me do more of these these deck profiles, let me know down in the comments down below. We will be back here probably with another deck profile in the future, but stay attuned for that. And if you did enjoy, also, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. I greatly appreciate that. And I'll see you all in the next one. And as always, stay awesome, my Dark Knights.